Now that we added the images to the storyline, we're ready to edit the movie. So I am going to start this segment on the top of page 6 of the workbook, step 6. First of all, what I want you to do is I want you to drag the image that says "Welcome to San Antonio, a brief tour" to the start of the timeline right there. Whoops. And then I want you to do the same for this slide. When traveling to San Antonio, you want to visit tour places. So you can see that it's very easy to move the slides to different spots. So we're going to start our tour with these two segments. Now, after moving for the rest of them, most of those I believe are in order, so we're going to leave it as it is. And now we're going to add some music to our welcome slide. So we want to make sure that we've clicked on this first slide, and we're going to click this icon where it says Add Music, and we're going to go into our Contents folder under Music, and we're going to add this music wave. Okay, now I'm on the top of page 7. Notice that the music is longer than the slide. So in order to change that, we have to change the duration, which is under the Edit tab. So you see it has it as 7 seconds for duration. If you lower the duration, you see how it extends, versus if we raise the duration, it shortens. So go ahead and let's make the duration 9.00. Okay, we're also going to add some animation to the welcome slide. So if we click on that slide and we want to go to animations, and we're going to select a transition. So let's go ahead and do this one. So you can see what it does when we go over the thing it shows us. If we click the arrow, we can also see the effects. Okay. So now we have a transition on the first slide. What I'd like us to do is also create transitions for the 4 different segments. If you go to slide 2, you see that we're going to talk about the Alamo, we're going to talk about the Japanese tea gardens, we're going to talk about the zoo and the river walk. So at the start of each, so here the third slide is the Alamo, we're going to add a transition onto that. So we're going to we want to do a cinematic transition. So if we hit the down arrow, and we want to get to the cinematic, so we have these two. I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to add that to each slide. So you see how it creates a transition to the Alamo, which is our first segment. Then the next one is the Japanese tea garden, and that starts on this slide. So I'm going to do the same thing and get the cinematic transition. And then I will also do that for the zoo, and the zoo begins with this one. So put that there. And then lastly, we have the river walk, and the river walk begins with this slide. So we'll add a transition there as well. Okay, so we have all of our transitions in place. We will now add some audios to the timeline. I'm on step 11, page 8. So what I need you to do is click your mouse in front of the second slide, and we're going to add some audios by clicking the Add Music. Even though it's going to be audios, you can still click Add Music, and go under the Contents folder under Audios, and let's click A1 Wave. Now notice that the wave file is longer than the slide. So there's 2 things we can do. We could either change the duration of the slide, or we can add some more images. So for our purposes, what we're going to do is we're going to copy each of the starting slides for each of the different segments. So let's go ahead and click on this and go copy, And then let's go edit paste. So now we got 2. Then we're going to go to the Japanese tea garden, hit copy. We want to slide it in here and click paste. Oh. Okay, then we're going to do the same for the zoo and put that after the Japanese tea garden. And then we're going to do the same thing for the Riverwalk. This one doesn't want to be cooperative. Okay, so now if we play the timeline,
welcome to San Antonio. This brief tour will introduce you to 4 must-see sites that includes the Alamo, the Japanese tea gardens, the zoo, and the Riverwalk. Let's begin.
so we noticed that it didn't fully work, so we probably want to extend, actually we want to extend each of the slides. So if we look on step 13 on page 10, the 3rd slide we wanted the duration at 4. And then the 4th slide we want the duration at 3. The 5th slide we want the duration at 3 again. And then the 6th slide we want the duration at 5. Let's see how that works.
Welcome to San Antonio. This brief tour will introduce you to 4 must-see sites that includes the Alamo, the Japanese tea gardens, the zoo, and the Riverwalk. Let's begin.
Okay. We might even be able to extend this a little. Oops. Let's go back to 3. All right, I think that would be better. All right, so now we're on the next slide, and we're going to go ahead and add the remaining audios that we have within our contents. So just as we did before, we're going to go to Add Music. We're going to pick up this second wave file, and we want to make sure that that extends only through for the Alamo. So we could see it's extending over. So we got to make sure that that actually gets reduced. So go ahead and let's play with it. We'll do a little exercise where you play with the durations to make sure that it all falls in line. Then once you do that, you're going to go on to the Japanese tea garden and do audio 3. For this exercise, you're going to add the remaining audios to the timeline. So we added A1 wave to the introduction. We added A2 wave for the Alamo slides. Then you're going to add the A3 wave all the way through the Japanese tea garden slides. So you got to make sure the durations are fitting accordingly. So you'll have to adjust them and play with them. And then also you're going to add the A4 wave to the zoo slides, the A5 wave to the Riverwalk slides, and then lastly A6 wave, which is for that ending blank slide.